back in JS Fiddle. Time to understand what happens behind the scenes when we create a new Vue instance like we do here with the new Vue keyword. Of course, I already explained that it takes a template and updates the DOM based on that template. But behind the scenes, it follows through a complex lifecycle update into which we may tap in to execute certain code. Let's have a look at this lifecycle. The VueJS instance lifecycle starts with the new Vue constructor. There, we then execute the first lifecycle method to which we can listen, I will show this in a second, before create. This is, as the name implies, before the Vue instance is created. Thereafter, it initializes the data and events we pass to the object or with the object to the Vue instance. And it then creates the instance and calls the created lifecycle hook method, to which we can also listen or into which we can also tap in. Thereafter, it compiles the template, or it derives the template from our HTML code if we use L or mount. So it either uses the template provided in the template property or the one it derives. We saw that before in action. Then before mount is reached. This is, as the name implies, called right before this template, which is rendered, is mounted to the real DOM, is written to the real DOM. So it's not there yet. Now we replace the element, so this element in the Vue instance, with the compiled template. It's still not mounted, but now VueJS compiled the template, inserted all the values for the string interpolations, set up all the bindings, so converted it to real HTML code, so to say, but still behind the scenes. But now we mount it to the DOM. So we take this compiled template, which is exactly the HTML code we will see in the DOM, and writes it to the DOM. Now our Vue instance is hooked up to the DOM and is or can be seen there. It's not done though. We got an ongoing life cycle, which we can tap into multiple times, which is if some data changes and the DOM is re-rendered. Here we get the before update lifecycle hook right before we re-render the DOM. So after we saw that the data changed, but before the DOM is re-rendered, or the part of the DOM I should say. And the updated lifecycle, which is obviously called after this part in the DOM was updated. We also get the before destroy lifecycle right before an instance is destroyed. I will show you how an instance may get destroyed in a second. This is the VueJS lifecycle, and it then ends with the destroyed lifecycle hook into which we can tap in right after the instance was destroyed. All these methods here can be used to execute some code in the different phases of the lifecycle. For example, whenever we want to execute the code, once the DOM or a part of the DOM has been updated, we could do this in the updated lifecycle hook. Well, let's see it in action in the next lecture.